All right, folks, thank you for joining us this evening. This is a regularly called and scheduled Greer City Council meeting called this evening, January 28th, 2020. We are duly assembled and convened here this evening for the council meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask that Councilmember Riley Bettis lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and followed by an invocation for council.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor and Council, I'm going to borrow from the Senate Chaplain Barry Black and his invocation to open the Trump impeachment trial. Sovereign God, author of liberty, we gather in this chamber for these proceedings. Give our mayor wisdom as he presides. Lord, you are all-powerful and know our thoughts before we form them. As lawmakers, we are reminded of your admonition in 1 Corinthians 10:31 that whatever we do should be done for your glory. Help us remember that good people reside on both sides of an issue, that words have consequences, and that's how something is said can be as important as what is said. Give us a civility built upon integrity that brings consistency to our beliefs and actions. We pray in your powerful name. Amen.
We thank you for joining us this evening. We set aside time at the first of every meeting for public forum, an opportunity for those folks that would like to address council in regards to something that is on the agenda to do so. And Ms. Duncan, do we have anybody to appear this evening?
No, sir.
With that, then, council will move to the minutes of the council meeting from January 14th, 2020. I'll entertain a motion that they be received.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Any items of note for the clerk? Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council will move on to employee recognitions. This is one of the parts of this job that I particularly enjoy, is recognizing those employees who have reached milestones in their employment with the city. It is always good to have an opportunity to recognize those folks and to appropriately say our thanks to them and give them a certificate of appreciation, and it comes with a day off. So I am going to ask the administrator if he would to join me in the front. I'm going to read resolution number 2-2020, and then we're going to invite some folks to join us here at the front. Let me read the resolution, and then I will ask the folks that we're going to recognize to come up individually. I'll recognize them individually. But the resolution reads as such: whereas the City of Greer endeavors to recognize and reward its dedicated and faithful employees, and whereas Travis Durham has served in the Parks and Recreation Department for 5 years, Gary Melton served in the Parks and Recreation Department for 10 years, Scott Rutgers has served in the Police Department for 10 years, and Richard Watson has served in the Public Services Department for 20 years. And whereas these employees have served in a distinguished and professional manner, now be it therefore resolved that the City Council of the City of Greer, South Carolina, in a meeting duly assembled, wishes to officially recognize and commend these employees for the distinguished and dedicated service which they have performed. Be it further resolved that the City of Greer hereby rewards these dedicated employees with their certificate of appreciation and an administrative day off of pay, approves this 28th day of January 2020. Travis Durham. Appreciate it. We'll stand here. I want everybody to see your Clemson shoes. Gary Melton. Scott Rutgers. Let's not be with us this evening. Mr. Richard Watson. There he is.
Cleans up good.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate it. Now, I believe one or two members of your family are here, are they not? For those that have come tonight to see her be here and support Richard, will y'all stand up, please? Look at that. I know y'all think it's much better than we do. Give all these folks a round of applause. Thank you. Almost got too eager to sit down. One of the other things that we do from time to time is recognize those folks that have reached a milestone in their career where they are able to retire from employment with the city. It is always gratifying when someone has given service to the city and has reached that milestone through a combination of years, either here at the city or with their other employees as well too in the state system. And we celebrate with them when that point in time comes when they are able to retire from service. And tonight I'd like to ask Mason Eldridge, if you would, to come to the front, please, sir. Nixon, we got a little something for you, and this is a certificate of appreciation that says, "Congratulations upon your retirement from the city of Greer. Presented in appreciation of 23 years of dedicated service to the city of Greer, May 30th, 1996, to February 7th, 2020, to Nixon Eldridge." Thank you, sir, for your service to our community, and we appreciate it very much.
Congratulations. Small gift from the city to honor your retirement. Good luck to you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Reverend Watson, are you taking that group to buy all of them suppers?
He's a chip off the old block.
Yeah. You can tell it Watson.
If we can.
Council, you have the departmental reports contained there in your packet this evening for December 2019. This will give you additional information in regards to the activities of the various different departments. And we are going to have Ms. Susan Howell join us this evening for our financial activity report. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Pleased to present the financials as of December the 31st, 2019. Starting out with the general fund, our year-to-date revenue is $5,968,000. Our year-to-date expenses are $14,973,000, which is 3% over budget. Then if you look at our dashboard, you'll see when you compare the actuals to benchmarks, we do have an overall negative benchmark variance of $3,193,000, but we do have a positive cash balance of $9,781,647. Moving on to the hospitality fund, the year-to-date revenue is $1,247,000. The expenses are $486,000, and the cash balance in the hospitality fund is $1,981,000. Lastly, the stormwater fund, we have a year-to-date revenue number of $120,000. Our expenses are $313,000, and our cash balance in the stormwater account is $1,394,148. And I'll be happy to answer any questions if I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions, comments, to Ms. Otwell? Thank you for the update. We appreciate it. I believe I saw Scout come in. I want to welcome our Scout with us this evening. From time to time, have the opportunity to have Scouts with us, and if we have an opportunity to lead our pledge, wasn't able to tonight, but certainly welcome you. You will get a small taste of what one of our meetings is like this evening. We do not have a lengthy agenda, so you either picked the right night or the wrong night, depending on whether or not you wanted to see the council in action. But nevertheless, we appreciate you being with us, sir. Thank you. With that, we will move on to presentations. Ann Cunningham, who is our Director of Parks and Recreation, will present her annual report this evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. A hard copy has been provided to each of you that contains the detailed 2019 annual report for the Parks and Recreation Department. I'd like to take this opportunity to review some of the highlights from this report and talk about each division and different projects that we've completed in the annual report. Please feel free to follow along with that as well as on our slides. The Administrative Division ensures progress towards accomplishing action improvement items outlined in the City of Greer Strategic Plan. Some of these accomplishments include new and diverse programming, upgrades to equipment and park amenities, supporting community events, distributing customer service surveys to solicit feedback for improvement, long-term planning to ensure prosperous and adequate growth for our department, and utilizing social media platforms to promote our programs and events. And I believe that we each have our newest little promotion. This is something that we just started. It's called #Love Greer Parks and Rec. And if you open it up, it says love, and then on the back there's different venues of social media where we have testimonials from different people who participate in our programs and can certainly leave us information for improvement. 2019 saw a dramatic increase in our athletics participation. We had over 2,700 participants in our athletic programs, and the top graph reflects the yearly increase since 2013. The pie chart on this slide illustrates the breakdown of participants by sport in our athletics division. Youth baseball is our largest program. However, youth basketball and flag football are growing rapidly. Greer Parks and Recreation now offers a completely in-house 6, 7, and 8 and 9, 10 youth basketball league, and this is maximum capacity for Victor Gym. Our youth flag football league, which is in its second season of competition, is now completely in-house due to the volume of participants. These two new programs are trending, show continued growth, and they add diversity to our athletics program inventory. The grand opening of the newly renovated Center for the Arts and surrounding park was held on September the 21st. Entertainment and classes were held inside, along with entertainment on the amphitheater stage and food trucks in the park. Approximately 2,000 people attended the event, and tours were given on Sunday, September the 22nd, to approximately 200 people throughout the day. Since our opening, numerous classes and workshops have been offered, including art and pottery, dance classes, concerts, and special events, in addition to open studios by 6 artists in residence. In 2009, we had over 16,000 in attendance for our cultural arts programs, more than 650 volunteers that gave us over 4,500 hours of their time and efforts. The line graph shows that participation has drastically increased since 2016. In 2019, the Events Division facilitated 760 events that brought in over 125,000 people and generated more than $190,000 in revenue. The 4 different types of events offered include internal, rentals, weddings, and special events. The pie chart at the top of the slide shows a breakdown of each type. A new program that began in early 2019, the Ambassador Program, transported over 12,000 people around downtown Greer. The bar graph on the screen reflects the number of passengers transported each month. When it opens later this year, the new Kids Planet will greet visitors with new sidewalks, pathways, music and misting areas, zip lines, hillside slides, and a new parking lot on the east side of the facility. There will also be a new walking trail around the perimeter of the playgrounds with 6 outdoor physical fitness workstations. An Enchanted Forest theme will feature colorful play structures that will provide accessibility to everyone and focus on inclusiveness. Personalized items that were part of the original Kids Planet are currently stored at the Operations Center and will be incorporated into the renovated playground area. The Cultural Arts Division is spearheading the planning process for this venture. In our Recreation Division, we offered a total of 41 programs and hosted over 7,100 participants. The division oversees general programming, including after-school and summer camps, special events, facility rentals, senior citizen programming, and instructional classes and programs. New programs for 2019 included K-9 nose work training, Morse code class, and pickleball instructional clinics. Our ham radio and Morse code classes had over 5,000 subscribers, with thousands of views and reviews on each video from people around the world, and it continues to grow. There was a total of 429 rentals, which included our recreation centers, buses, Kids Planet shelters, and mobile stage. Featured in the bottom photo is our annual Egg-tastic Easter event. In 2019, we had over 2,200 people enjoy another great event with added vendors and plenty of games, activities, inflatables, and of course, egg hunts. The Grounds Maintenance Division is responsible for 19 parks and 12 facilities that make up approximately 150 acres. Preparing athletic fields, ensuring playground safety, event setups, project management, and coordinating community projects are some examples of their responsibilities. The pie chart shown in this slide reflects the number of staff hours that our Grounds Division dedicated to the events listed. The bar graph illustrates the number of times athletic fields were prepared last year, a total of 1,652. This slide shows our year-end review by the numbers. In total, our department offered 179 programs, generated over $470,000 in program and rental revenue. We had over 16,000 registered participants, 991 volunteers that gave 12,016 hours of their time, and we currently have 21,213 social media followers. We obtained over $300,000 in grants, $30,650 in sponsorships, and in-kind donations totaled $5,000. This list represents some of our highlighted projects from 2019, and I'm going to go over each one briefly. Repairs were made to water-damaged wood rafters, and the stability of the roof was reinforced by adding steel supports to the trusses at the Cannon Center. The floor for the main space and classrooms were repainted, and the gymnasium lights were replaced with dimmable LED lighting. Victor Park received several upgrades in 2019. New ADA accessible vanities and sinks were installed, and a new epoxy resin floor was poured in the restrooms. 2 10-ton HVAC units were installed in the gymnasium, and flower beds, Bermuda sod, and irrigation were installed at the side of the gymnasium facing Line Street. Trees Greenville and the Parks and Recreation Department partnered to plant maple and crepe myrtle trees around the walking track and the ball field area. Shade structures were installed and provided much-needed shade in the seating areas at Country Club Road Park and Victor Park. Additional shade structures are scheduled to be installed at Country Club Road Park later this year. A free shuttle service was launched in January to facilitate uninterrupted visitor access to the downtown businesses during the Streetscapes project. MyTracks GPS, a smartphone app, features a map of the city of Greer and highlights shuttle locations and parking lots. The new app allows users to request a shuttle pickup when in the downtown area. The Armored Personnel Mortar Carrier, known as the APC, was on display at Veterans Park, was removed on February the 28th for refurbishment and reinstalled on April the 22nd. This endeavor was at no charge to the city of Greer. The APC was blasted, primed, and painted. The tracks were removed and reinstalled after the painting was completed, and the rear door and ramp were welded shut as a safety precaution. Renovations to the Center for the Arts included a new roof, HVAC, plumbing, fire suppression system, security system, internet technology, and parking lots. Improvements for programming included large classrooms for pottery and art classes, rentable studios for local artists, a theater that seats approximately 125 people, a formal lobby, and a new office space. The city was able to salvage the existing stage, which was an original part of the building. The surrounding park includes walking trails, park lighting, wayfinding signage, an amphitheater, rain gardens, a playground, and infrastructure that enables the park to host festivals and events. The entrance sign installations at Country Club Road Park and South Sewer Road Park were completed in August. The Center for the Arts received a new sign during renovations, and the entrance sign at Victor Gym was repaired and repainted. An ADA sidewalk connecting the outdoor restroom facility and the upper tennis courts at Tryon Recreation Center was installed in the fall of 2019. At Century Park, an ADA sidewalk connecting the bridge to the parking lot was poured with curbing along the lower drive. The City of Greer partnered with the Greer Council of Garden Clubs to create a butterfly garden in Greer City Park. This beautiful area of Greer City Park was dedicated on April the 27th during our International Festival in the memory of Nancy Welch, a local gardening enthusiast and member of the Greer Council of Garden Clubs. The City of Greer has the honor of being the only designated monarch city in South Carolina. The beautifully remodeled downtown area will become the newest park under the care of the Parks and Recreation Department. In addition to providing a more picturesque environment friendly to pedestrians and cyclists, this revitalization will allow the city's commercial center to be utilized for festivals and other events. The following is a list of our 2020 highlighted projects. Kids Planet renovation, Streetscapes to become a downtown park, Greer Country Club acquisition, Turner Field accessible parking, Springwood Park ADA renovation, Turner Field and Victor Park restroom facilities, install a bocce ball court at Victor Park, as well as irrigation at Little Turner Field, and install barrier netting at South Sewer Road Park soccer fields and Country Club Road Park multipurpose fields. I'd like to show a brief video, thanks to Sergeant Ballinger with the Greer Police Department and Jason Parker with WSPA Channel 7, who went out and took drone footage of some of our facilities, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's really good. We have so many wonderful resources in Greer to be thankful for, and certainly because of y'all. Thank you. I'm very appreciative for the support and advocacy of our Recreation Association Board of Trustees, our ad hoc committee representatives, the Greer Cultural Arts Council, which some are here this evening, thank you, and many volunteers that give countless hours of their time to ensure that we offer quality recreation programs. I'm also grateful for the hard work of my staff. They do such a great job. And this concludes my presentation for this evening. I thank you for this opportunity, and I welcome any questions that you may have.
Council?
I just like to say thank you to you, Ann, and to your entire staff and everyone, and you just do a fantastic job. Just compliments all the time on the facilities, and that's really fantastic. So all of you do a terrific job. We really appreciate you.
I'd like to echo that thought too, because I get to work closely with Justin and your staff on MLK Day, and I'm telling you, they do an awesome job, because that's quite a tribute. I mean, they really work hard, and that's a testament to you too.
Thank you.
So I think we got the best recreation department in the state.
Well, we think so. My entire management staff is here tonight, so we're very supportive of one another, and certainly appreciate all of your support.
Thank you much. We appreciate it.
Very good presentation, too.
I would like to echo Councilman Griffin's remarks as he leaves.
Mic drop.
I think this was the 19th year of our MLK Day celebration, and every year I think, well, it's going to be impossible to top what they did last year. This year, if you had an opportunity to come, was one of the most powerful luncheons that I have ever attended in my entire life, bar none. A young man that gave his testimony and talked about his life in Greer and the people that had assisted him in that transition into to going to school, getting an education, starting a small business, admitting at 23, 24 years old that he had done all that without ever learning to read, and eventually learning to read, and overcoming some obstacles to create even a much larger business in North Carolina. It was, I don't know that there was another celebration like that anywhere in Greenville County and possibly in our entire state. It was one of the most moving ceremonies I have ever seen in my life, and I know that Wayne rightfully recognizes the work that you put into it and our staff puts into it. You just don't invite 300 people to lunch without putting a little work behind it, and I don't know how we'll top that next year, but I know Wayne will do it somehow or another. And I wanted to thank him for his work on that, as well as the recreation department. It is a first-class event. It is an event that draws people from all of the upstate to it, and we appreciate the efforts on your behalf and on our staff's behalf as well too. And also want to invite council, if they would, to join me on Friday night at 6 o'clock at the museum. The museum trustees have invited us to be part of a presentation that they're going to give into a marketing campaign that they're going to be engaging in. And so from 6 to 7 at the museum, you should have received an invitation about it. I know some of the staff may have as well too. And so they are going to be rolling out a marketing plan that someone is going to be helping them with free of charge. And so if you want to come and see what they're planning to do, I would urge you to join me on Friday evening with some folks from the museum staff. With that, then, we will move to our administrator's report. Mr. Driggers.
Your report, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. I echo comments made in reference to our recreation department. Look forward to that slide being updated next year from 150 acres to over 310 acres. So, yeah, put that in the bar chart. It'll look great. Great work. A couple of things to make council aware of. One, a copy of our comprehensive annual financial report is in your mailboxes. This is the full report that comes after we present the audit, and so this is what we would use in all of our financial transactions, information concerning the city. We, again, have recognized earlier in the year that we continue year after year to be recognized for receiving the Award of Excellence in our comprehensive annual financial report. Again, receiving that this year. Again, a copy of that is in your box. A few of us will be traveling to Columbia. Next week, we'll be in Columbia on Tuesday, attending the Municipal Association's Hometown Legislative Action Day. We'll have an opportunity following that to spend some time with our legislative delegation, so we're looking forward to that and the time that we'll be able to spend there next week. Reminder for all of us, our council retreat is scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday, February 18th and 19th. We will start sending those friendly reminders probably weekly as we start to roll into that. I think as we shared with you a little bit earlier, we're going to be in two of our facilities as part of that retreat setting. One will be at the Center for the Arts, and the other will be at the Greer Country Club, giving us an opportunity to make sure that we're seeing how those facilities are being used and will continue to be used moving forward. Just a kind of a tickler for an upcoming event that just was announced. Spring Cleaning Day will be taking place on Saturday, April 25th. We will start publicizing that as we prepare for the spring, but wanted to go ahead and let you know, many of you place that on your calendars, have constituents that ask about that annually. And last but not least, I want to give you an update relative to our Synergy project. I guess the biggest piece of that is weather. We've had a lot of rain, but we are continuing to move forward. It has slowed us down a little bit, but ironically, we happen to be doing storm drainage work during the heaviest of the rainfalls. And so we're pretty confident that those systems are working adequately. In fact, we were able to test them before they were completed. So things are going along very, very well on the project. We continue to publish a weekly update on that project as well. You can see that at futuregreer.com, and we continue to receive questions, and information is shared relative to that project on a regular basis. Most recently, our questions were more relative to the construction of the hotel and of the garage. Those projects are continuing to move forward. One of the questions was that, that there seems to be a lapse of activity there. Please recognize that for the hotel site, that was a two-phase project. One was to get on site and do the grading. That was under a contractor, a local contractor here. That work was commenced and was finalized. They have moved off of that site, and mobilization has begun of the general contractor to construct the hotel. And we are working with that individual now, along with the general contractor, for the garage that we will be building for logistics on the site. It's something we've been needing to coordinate. It's a relatively small site. It's an urban site, and there's a lot of equipment and a lot of materials that have to come in and off of that. And of course, we're kind of cornered with a state highway there at Poinsett Street, a state highway on Main Street, and then of course the city street there on Jason and Cannon. Our access points really being for that site primarily from Jason Street, and so we have two large construction projects taking place at the same time, and so obviously coordination, logistics of getting that equipment in and out, materials, is something that we've needed to do. As part of that process, I've asked that both of the general contractors do that through an agreement, a memorandum of understanding, and because we want to make sure particularly as construction would continue in that project after my departure, that there isn't any issue that has not been addressed of how that will work. And so I've been rather insistent that that would take place, get that memorandum of understanding in place. I think it'll serve us well as we continue to move forward. It'll help me not be blamed for a lot of things that happen out there later. I'll still be blamed, but at least some of it will be documented of what we intended to do. I will be the easiest to blame, and I accept that. But that is going along smoothly. We're at the point that we do anticipate that we will start to see construction begin very, very shortly. Our part of that project will probably mobilize a good 45 days after that takes place. We want to go ahead and get the hotel folks in, get them started on their portion of the project. The garage construction is a smaller timetable anyway, and so we can start after the hotel and we'll finish before the hotel. So we'll get into that window on both ends of that project. But things are moving along very, very well. The community still seems to be very excited about the activity that's taking place there, and we are in the planning stages now for the ribbon cutting for that project as well. So as we start to finalize those details, we'll be sharing that with the community and obviously with you first as we start to embrace that. And so again, with our recreation department here, I can't say enough because they take on more and more and more as we prepare to put that project in as our newest park. Well, maybe I guess it'll be our last park because we'll get the country club going, and I guess that'll be number 20, and then we'll have number 21. But yes, so anyway, that's my report. Certainly glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I was negligent in thanking the former Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Griffin, for filling in for me in my absence at our first meeting of 2020 as I was out of town. And thank you, sir, for handling that meeting.
I'm glad you're back, because every time I sit in that seat, it gets a little hot.
It's the nature of being in the middle. But I do appreciate you filling in, and I was reminded as I looked at our next item that this is indeed my first meeting with Mark Hopper, his second in this new seat for him, and we want to welcome him and thank him for his service. He has served on the Planning Commission representing District 3 and tendered his resignation to assume this position, and as a counselor gets to make a recommendation for someone to replace him on the Planning Commission. Are you prepared to do that this evening, sir?
Mr. Mayor, met with a potential replacement yesterday.
Okay.
Wade was very qualified. He's still considering, but said he would be getting back to me by the beginning of next week, so I hope to have a name for consideration by next meeting.
Good deal. Thank you, sir. Council, with that, we don't have any other stated business other than executive session. We've got a personnel matter. If someone would like to propose that we go into executive session for that, I'll entertain a motion that we do that.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the personnel matter pertaining to the Administration Department as allowed by State Statute Section 30-470A1.
Comes as a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Then we have a motion in a second. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council, we stand in executive session. Council, in executive session, we have considered one personnel matter. We have taken no action in that regard. Do I hear a motion to come out of executive session?
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mayor Danner?
Yes. Stand adjourned.